What's up, everybody, and welcome to my Monday Night Raw review. A lot of things going on in the show tonight. Basically, 24 hours after the NXT In Your House pay-per-view from last night. They want to make one thing clear before I even move on to this review for Monday Night Raw, because this is technically a go-home show before Backlash this Sunday. Make sure you check out my NXT TakeOver In Your House review, which is uploaded online right now. Talked about it for almost about 40 minutes. Really good show last night. A little bit between in and there, but it was a decent to good show. For the rest of it, my thoughts on that, check out the review that is posted online right now, or check it out right now, or whenever, or after you watch this video from here. But moving on from that, we do get on the go-home show for this episode of Monday Night Raw. We kick it off with Asuka, who came out there, champion. Of course, she has to defend the title this Sunday. But before she can even really get to say anything, next thing you know, the new women's tag team champions are out there, Sasha and Bailey. Bailey Dos Straps, I believe. Do not call her Bailey Two Belts. I believe she said that online. Bailey Dos Straps, sounds better. Doesn't want to make it sound like the Becky Two Belts. But then again, we got a lot of people with double titles around in wrestling right now. So the two belt thing almost works for anybody. Or double 2B if you want to go for Bailey. Or double B2, double 2B. I don't know. But maybe Bailey Dos Straps is the best way to put it. But hey, Bailey's the double champion. Double champion is in the house tonight though. But Sasha and Bailey pretty much said that they are now the double champions. Now at this point, and they basically can go wherever they want. They're the tag team champions, everything. Bailey's got 2 titles, so they can go to any show they like right now. But before Asuka pretty much started yelling at them, then saying this is my ring and everything, but Sasha and Bailey says, let me remind you that we can go wherever we want. We're the champions. Next thing you know, Charlotte came out then, pretty much talking about Sasha and Bailey as, listen, man, you want to go from brand to brand just like the Queen and whatnot. But listen, good luck in keeping up the stamina. Because, listen, I know you guys like to enjoy the spotlight and everything, but, listen, this is my time, and now me and Asuka have a match. But next thing you know, the Iconics came out pretty much saying that they're going to take the women's tag titles back in Backlash, because it is a triple threat match for those belts this Sunday between this team, Sasha Bailey, and Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss, and pretty much said that they beat Sasha and Bailey in last year's WrestleMania for those titles. Asuka continued to yell in Japanese at everybody as Charlotte responded what she said. But next thing you know, Charlotte pretty much told Sasha and Bailey, listen, you guys are still garbage. It doesn't matter how many titles you hold. I don't need 2 titles to stay relevant, which almost a lot of people said tonight. They're like, that kind of buried Sasha and Bailey, especially saying like, okay, you got 2 belts, whoop-de-frickin-do. Basically, Charlotte's had more titles than both of them, I should say, so she pretty much says that they are garbage. Sasha and Bailey end up attacking Charlotte then right after as they Iconics attack Asuka, but Charlotte and Asuka pretty much took everybody out in the ring then, which turned into a triple threat tag team match then right after that. It really didn't go that long. Basically, Charlotte tagged herself in, was going to go for a moonsault, telling Asuka to watch this, but Asuka tagged herself in and put the Asuka lock in on Billie Kay for the win. Pretty much they argued for a second as Asuka turned her back and then turned back around. Charlotte ended up hitting like a flying clothesline, I think off the top rope, knocking Asuka down and then holding up the title, which I'm sure you all know what that means. Hey, even when I said this last night in my review for NXT, hey, Charlotte may have lost the title, but do not be surprised soon enough. She's going to be going back after a title real soon. And I mean really, really real soon, okay? So do not be surprised when Charlotte and Asuka go against each other for the title, okay? So, what are we like at 13, 14, 12? I don't even know how many title reigns Charlotte has on her belt now at this point. I believe it's 12. So, do not be surprised when she gets another one. When she loses one belt, she's going to go right after another. So, you can't really be surprised by that. I'm seeing people already mad about that, but come on, let's be honest. What did you expect was going to happen, okay? But next, Seth Rollins came out after they played a video package of what happened last week with Seth beating up Aleister Black and And Humberto, Seth came out. He's got his suit on and everything. And he told Byron Saxton to get out of the way at the table as they were interviewing Rey Mysterio for a medical update. Pretty much saying that, the prognosis is promising and that the cornea damage infection is, still a high risk. But he does not know when he's going to be clear. But he's going to get payback on Seth Rollins for what he did. Rollins pretty much told him that, listen, you must understand the power of his words. That this is about sacrifice, okay? And pretty much told Ray you could have walked away a legend and a hero, but now I'm going to give you one more chance, okay? You and your son come to Raw next week, and I can tell you, face to face about the sacrifices that were made for the greater good. But Mysterio pretty much said, the only reason why you're even inviting me, because I'm medically cleared. He pretty much said something about him in Spanish, and then Rollins cut him off and says, listen, Ray, you got this all wrong. You just got to understand me. Listen, hear me out. But next thing you know, Aleister Black ends up jumping over the table, beating up Seth Rollins then as they go to commercial break, which pretty much starts a tag match with Black and Humberto go against Theory and Murphy. This match did not really go on long. I know Murphy was on the top rope, and Aleister Black ended up hitting a big running knee strike on him for the win, surprisingly. I actually thought it would have been by Black Mass, but he hit a running knee strike on him for the win. Next thing you know, Ray's music hit then, and it was Seth and Rey Mysterio mask. Pretty much they got jumped in by Seth's crew. I know they hit the ATL finisher on Humberto, but then they end up holding up Aleister Black then as Seth pretty much yelled and says, I'm going to make him a sacrifice. Curb stomps him, basically like the same thing last week. Seth and crew get their heat back immediately after, the faces win. So yeah, basically the same thing you saw last week of Seth curb stomping Aleister Black into the ground. Alright, so there you go. I know they interviewed Randy Orton. Caruso pretty much talked about the Peep Show tonight with Christian. And Orton pretty much said, that segment's coming up next, right? And he was going away, but pretty much he asked, why you keep him so quiet for? Pretty much Orton pretty much says, just relax and watch what happens. But Christian was back for the Peep Show. Haven't seen him in a while. Christian introduced Edge. Pretty much talk about this whole greatest wrestling match ever, folks. The greatest wrestling match ever. Still laughable. But pretty much Christian told Edge, I think you're running on fumes right now. I don't think you got it. Okay, and pretty much Christian said, I don't think you can pull this greatest wrestling match thing over, even when you're in your prime. And Christian said, we've been best friends for a long time, but we gotta be honest with each other, okay? Listen, you're lying to yourself if you can live up to this whole match, all right? But Edge pretty much told him to hold on for a second. Listen, man, you don't know what it's like to be in my shoes right now. I've had a straight-up wrestling match in almost 9 years now. Orton's been here, and, it's being the greatest wrestling match ever, but that's like climbing Mount Everest without any gear pretty much to go, okay? And Edge says, I'm not the same guy like I used to be and everything, and, he pretty much told Christian, like, listen, I used to pretty much tell you this before, right? I had to give you confidence back then before we even went out for our tag matches. But Christian pretty much says, all I'm hearing is excuses, okay? That's all I'm hearing right now. And what did you think he was going to happen? You were just going to come back, do your greatest hits, hit a spear, do a smile? You thought it was going to be that easy? And Christian pretty much says, listen, man, I believed in you at one point. And, someone else has special, I believe in you, basically brought up Edge's mom. That, she used to pretty much sit, for all the big title matches back then. And, listen, she's going to be there this Sunday watching that match also against Orton. And Christian pretty much told Adam, you need to bring Edge. Because if Edge doesn't show up this Sunday, you can go home right now, okay? Edge pretty much looked at Christian all pissed off. And Christian says, that's the Edge I was looking for. Listen, we believe in you, okay? I guess some of the Performance Center students said that also. But pretty much he talked about how Edge put down Orton in WrestleMania. And now I believe you have the confidence to have this greatest wrestling match ever and put Orton down again. But Orton showed up on the screen, pretty much says, blah, blah, blah. Enough of all this talk. It's pathetic that Edge is just trying to salvage what's left of his career, that he's going to lose and not live up to his expectations, and that he's going to take everything away from Edge. He's going to send him back home with his wife and his kids, and his whole little redemption story is going to be over this Sunday. But Edge said no, it's not before walking away. Basically, the best promo segment on this entire show between Edge, Christian, and Orton, pretty much. Christian trying to rally Edge back to normal since Edge is doubting himself and having all this self-doubt. Christian pretty much says, listen, you either bring Edge or stay at home. I don't need to see Adam Copeland this Sunday, all right? I need to see Edge this Sunday to prove to what he was back then, not the old Edge. You need to, want to talk about this grit and everything. He needs to bring the grit this Sunday. So, like I've said with the WrestleMania match, great build, and then we saw what happened with the match. Still, great build for this too, but can the match actually live up to expectations? I don't know, but we'll see. Next up, Bobby Lashley. Well, not Bobby Lashley, but MVP was being interviewed in the back. He had a Shaq Gaspard shirt on, by the way. Good, very nice shirt. And pretty much he talked about, Lashley being on the VIP lounge tonight, but next, some sound happened, and it was R-Truth trying to hide in the box on MVP's, like, you ain't see me, I won the title from Gronk. MVP called him a clown, and Lashley ended up putting him in a Phil Nelson, leaving him on the ground for dead then. But next thing you know, we get to the decathlon next. What is it this week for the Profits and the Raiders, huh? So what are we in week 5, week 6 of this ridiculous stuff? Is it even funny to people? I don't know. Here's a question. What happened to Bianca Belair, and wasn't she trying to make these guys serious until she just randomly disappeared off of TV and we don't even know where she is anymore? Yeah, what happened to that when she was trying to make them serious and instead of doing all this goofball stuff every week? But the decathlon has now started, though. I guess since, like I said, I don't know where she is, but we got decathlon here. So we start off with the 1,600 meter foot race, which the Profits won. Next thing you know, there was archery. The Raiders won. Pretty much Dawkins hit one guy with an arrow in the foot somewhere, could have killed him. Profits ended up winning a game of Flip Cup, and the Raiders broke the table. There was going to be some sword fight next, but Montez Ford was like, nah, B, it ain't happening. I ain't doing this. Nah, he backed out the sword fighting thing, so points go to the Raiders. Next thing you know, it was a hurdle race, which I believe Dawkins was racing, so the Profits won after that. Next thing you know, they had a stick fight battle, which, Montez Ford cheered on, but Doc was like, hey, just come from the man that forfeit the last fight, so how you got to cheer on me? Which they just pulled him into some pool of water, and then Ford landed in there, so I don't know what was up with that. And then we had a dance battle, which they played Shawn Michaels music as Montez Ford started dancing then like this and taking off his jacket. The Raiders then pretty much had Fandango's thing as Hanson was dancing, even danced with the one of the judges, which of course this was a different woman this time, but she says, "You're cute." Other one, not so much. So the judges, the first judge picks the Profits, the second judge picked the Raiders, and then the final one picked the Profits. But next thing you know, the Profits end up winning the shot put challenge, and then the Raiders won with the pole vaulting challenge. So it is a tie. I have no idea where this is going to keep going, but apparently this is a tie, so there is no winner. So tell me, what's next week? Are we playing ping pong next week? We going to play some golf next week? No, we already played golf. We did that already. We're going to play some baseball next week. We're going to play some cards, maybe 52 pickup. Let's play some poker. Come on, what's the next challenge for next week? Tell me now. Football, maybe? Soccer? Come on, man. There's a lot of things we could keep playing with this every week. I don't even know anymore how long this goes, because I don't even think this is for the tag team titles anymore. So we'll be back to them pretty soon. But yes, a decathlon tonight, folks. A decathlon. But next thing you know, we got the new U.S. champion coming out, Apollo Crews. Cruz came out, new music, why I call him the new U.S. champion when he's already been champion for about a week or two now. I should say Apollo Crews with new theme music. So yes, let me correct myself right there as he talked about his match for this Sunday at Backlash between the winner of this triple threat match. Okay, now it's working. I had to tap the mic for a second, though. But as I said, the triple threat match between Owens, Garza, and Almas, who will be the number one contender. Almas and Garza came out. Owens attacked him from behind. This was actually a really good triple threat match right here, because throughout this match, it was basically a handicap match until Almas and Garza pretty much started arguing with each other who was going to pin Owens. They ended up brawling for a second to the outside of the ring. Zelina Vega tried to break it up, but she ended up getting knocked to the ground as they tried to help her up right after. But pretty much after commercial, Owens got the upper hand over both of these guys. He ended up hitting a cannonball on both of them. And then the frog splash on the Garza. He tried to go for his stunner. Garza ended up hitting his bad knee in right after that. After he hit his, whoa, okay. It's kind of odd. Yeah, he hit his bad knee, though. That was strange. But yeah, like I said, I'm losing focus right here. But yeah, he hit him in his bad knee right after that, pretty much trying to take him out from there. But Owens was able to get out of it. He ended up hitting the stunner onto Garza. But next thing you know, Almas got in the ring. He pushed Owens off and pinned Garza for the win. So he stole the win right there. Basically, this gives another out for Kevin Owens. Didn't even expect Garza to get pinned right here. But I guess we're doing Cruz versus Almas again. I think we all know who's going to win that this Sunday. And it most likely will be Cruz. But yes, we do see a little bit more dissension into this whole Vega group, because then they started arguing with each other in the back front, pretty much saying tranquilo, and then Vega pretty much walked in kind of hurt, and then pretty much pointing to telling them to go somewhere as they walked away. So yes, there's still a lot of dissension into that, but not a bad triple threat match though, and like I said, it'll be Cruz versus Almas again. Charlotte was in the back then getting an interview, pretty much talking about losing her title at NXT TakeOver last night, but she says, I was not pinned, I was not submitted, okay? So I did not lose, alright? You have to pin me to beat me. But listen, I accomplished everything I had to do in NXT. I won the title, I elevated the division, I main evented TakeOver, and now I'm main eventing Raw tonight. Asuka comes in dancing, saying I'm the champion. Charlotte pretty much told him, do you ever take anything seriously? Asuka said, I do, and then slapped the crap out of her onto the ground as she kind of laughed a little after that. But next you know, they went to Kurt Angle talking about this whole greatest wrestling match ever thing. As you know, he pretty much talked about you have to have chemistry, that's important, and comparing guys like Flair and Steamboat, or Taker and Shawn, or even himself and Brock Lesnar. Honestly, I'd rather go see a Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels match we've seen in the past. Now, I can name more better Kurt Angle's matches than this whole greatest wrestling match ever. Like I said with Shawn's probably got more matches than what you would care about this match for Sunday, or even just Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels was probably one of the greatest matches ever, as some would say. Probably better than this one this Sunday. So, keep bringing in people that have had way better matches than both of these two when you think about it. But, next you know, they went to the Raiders again. Pretty much McIntyre was talking to him, say, like, maybe we'll check out that VIP lounge tonight, okay? Because stick around, because they think it happened on Monday Night Raw. MVP pretty much came out then for the lounge, was about to bring out Lashley. But next you know, McIntyre came out. MVP says, why are you here? And McIntyre says, I'm just here, man. I'm just hanging out and everything. Listen, man, if you've been to Claymore Country, you may need another one. And, you know, I'm feeling the effects of that full Nelson and everything. But, you know, you're going to be taking another Claymore kick. But, you know, MVP pretty much saying that Lashley being used as part of the business plan, as McIntyre was pretty much said, I don't see you have any world titles. And as he did his countdown, Lashley came in. MVP tried to attack from behind, but he ended up getting headbutted. And then next, you know, Lashley and McIntyre pretty much had a stare down after that, right after. And the Raiders came out. Then the Street Profits, then I guess they were watching also, the Profits. But we got a tag team match with Lashley and MVP versus the Raiders right there. Not a bad tag match. I know they went to Lana talking about the year to Lana, or she's going to focus on herself. I feel like she's still going to screw Bobby Lashley out of title one way or another, I feel like. But as I said before, yeah, Rowan there. When I say Rowan, not Rowan. I'm trying to just call him by the other names, not the whole Eric and Ivar thing. But like I said before, I know McIntyre was in a chair watching. Lashley had a stare down with him. He ended up taking down Hanson then right after that. And then he went in and put the full Nelson onto Rowe, winning the match. Pretty much MVP tried to attack Hanson, but Hanson knocked him down. Lashley ran up on Hanson and putting him in the full Nelson again. Street Profits tried to break it up, but McIntyre ended up claymoring Lashley as he was still on his feet. That was not bad, at least, promoting Lashley and MVP. I do like they've made Lashley look like more of a beast. I don't think he'll win the title this Sunday, but I do expect a great match out of these two. I've seen it before in the past, and I know they can do it again, but I don't think Lashley is going to win the championship this Sunday, okay? I don't think that's going to happen, but yeah. But yeah, at least they've made Bobby Lashley look very strong in the past few weeks, especially going against Drew McIntyre. So I don't really have a problem with it. I've actually enjoyed this feud. I really have. Like I said, I know Lashley's going to lose, but at least I've enjoyed more serious Lashley than the goofball they've been making him for a long time now. But next thing you know, we get into the main event, which basically took up the entire show. Asuka versus Charlotte. Sasha and Bailey were on commentary throughout half of this match. This was a very, very good match. Listen, if you've seen Charlotte versus Asuka before, you know they can have great matches with each other, and they had a lot of time in this match too, okay? I know at one point the Iconics were out there watching, and they ended up attacking Sasha and Bailey because, the tag title match and everything. This went through like nearly 3 commercial breaks and whatnot, but this was a very great match. I think I kind of expected what the end was going to be. Actually, the Asuka was about to win with that octopus submission on Charlotte, but she was able to get out of it. But, as Asuka pretty much had Charlotte down, pretty much getting out of the whole figure 8. Pretty much, I know Charlotte speared her, and Asuka was able to get back up. But, of course, Nia Jax comes out after, Asuka does a hip attack on Charlotte. And then, she ends up doing her hip attack onto Nia Jax, knocking her onto the ground. Charlotte hits the big boot. And once again, Charlotte beats Asuka, which it looks like Asuka even kicked out at the end after that. Nia Jax pretty much came in and hit a Samoan drop onto Asuka before leaving the ring. Listen, I kind of expected Nia Jax to come out anyways just because of the title match this Sunday. I would have ended this in a DQ instead of having the women's champ lose. But then again, I'm not surprised at the same time either, just because, yes, it gives Asuka an out, does protect her because Nia Jax got involved and distracted her, and that's how Charlotte won this match, okay? Because I'm sure people probably want to see Asuka finally beat Charlotte, but obviously they're waiting on that until a later date, I guess, of whenever, because I feel like literally after this little Asuka and Nia Jax thing, which I have... Come on, Asuka's winning that match this Sunday, people. Let's be honest here. Whoever thinks Asuka's about to lose is kind of losing their mind. And they'll probably go into an Asuka versus Charlotte feud right after that. Because I can see that mostly more happening than, this whole Nia Jax thing beating Asuka. Because that's not going to happen, okay? But it was still a very good match, though. But you kind of expect the ending outcome out of this whole thing, okay? So there you go. But listen, this really leave me hyped for takeover, but this whole Backlash show this Sunday. Not really. There's probably a couple matches I'll watch. I am somewhat looking forward to, but majority of this show, it's kind of whatever when you think about it. But we've been building this whole greatest wrestling match ever for the past few weeks, so we still got to get this Edge and Orton thing going on again, and all whatever title match you got on here, but. As of Raw tonight itself, other than the main event and, the triple threat match was actually some pretty good matches. The best promo segment on here was just, Edge, Orton, and Christian. That was probably the best promo segment. But it doesn't really leave me going into Backlash that much. A little bit. Same thing with TakeOver. Like, TakeOver is this Sunday. I was still looking forward to it in a way, but, it's like, hey, it's coming, it's gonna come. So, yeah, we got another pay-per-view this Sunday, just like we had another pay-per-view last night. I don't know what to expect from it this Sunday, but we'll see what happens then. We will see what happens, okay? So, that's the go-home show for tonight on Raw before Backlash this Sunday. So, other than that, though, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, @HoodedKnight890. Check out any other past review. Check out my NXT TakeOver In Your House review. Arrest the cops that murdered Breonna Taylor. Like I said, we will see you this Sunday for Backlash, and I will be back tomorrow night for my Impact Wrestling review. So I am out of here. I will see you guys later. Peace out. Please tell me I got that video. Come on, man. That's like 2 restarts now.